It's a great question. So a lot of times what we do when we get started is about 6 weeks before we launch a campaign, we'll start running just brand awareness ads, targeting those companies like on LinkedIn. Um, and that's really helpful because one, it doesn't cost a lot of money. I'm not expecting to convert off of it, honestly. It's more of like getting our name in front of them. So when we start outreaching, they've heard of us or seen us before. So then we do the kind of start a campaign. We'll start with our first kind of email, call, voicemail, and we tend to do calls, then voicemail, email is kind of like our process. And then after that, usually it's about like 5 days later, we'll do a personalized video. So we'll call, and if we can't get them on the phone, we'll leave a voicemail talking about how we're going to send them a video. And that's been, I cannot speak enough about how much I love personalized video because so few people do it. And if they do it, they don't do it well. And just spending some time to make it highly personalized to that person has tremendous impact. So we'll do that. And then typically like 2 to 3 days later, we'll like follow up if they haven't watched the video and just kind of almost reply to that video email and just say, hey, adding this, like showing this up to the top of your inbox again, and we'll get more people to watch it. And then usually after that kind of outreach, 4 days later, we do what I like to call your like YouTube unboxing video. So if you've ever seen that trend where people like open boxes on YouTube and film it, I had this idea, like, what if we did that, but we did it with a direct mail? So we actually, the day we drop them in the mail, we'll send them an email with a video that says, hey, something's headed your way. And it's literally our SDR opening the box of what they're going to get and showing them what's inside. And it's not like this crazy idea that someone else couldn't think of, but it's been so impactful because we will have people at companies, even in the enterprise space, that are literally waiting to get this box of this item that I sent them that is not super impressive in terms of like, it's not like I'm sending them an iPad or like an iPhone. I'm sending them something that's a couple of dollars, but they are just like, oh, I haven't seen it yet. Oh, I think you might have had our address wrong. Can you ship me a new one? And they just kind of get this like really cool waiting for it effect, which is nice. And then we'll follow up. You know, we get all the tracking information from either FedEx or UPS, depending on how we're shipping. And then the SDRs will call like once it's arrived. And we do try and take into account, like depending on the size, like most of the sporting venues, we could call like the day it arrives or like the next day because they're typically not large enough where there's some big mail department that's going to take a couple of days to go through, like a larger enterprise might be. And then after that, we typically do, you know, after you got in your direct mail, we've outreached, we're doing about 3 to 4 more outreaches afterwards. And that's kind of where we start to shift. So usually after that one, we're doing more of like a case study or a use case and focusing on results we've driven for someone else in that industry. Because most of our ABM campaigns, we do industry focused. It helps from just kind of what we do. And then usually like after that, we're doing like 7 days and kind of focusing more on like sharing helpful content. So if you've not converted off of the first 4 outreaches, chances are you're not looking to buy something right now. So now let's talk about positioning us as really this resource for you. So that's what we do. And typically those are, you know, there's 2 to 3 more outreaches. We span them about, you know, 2 weeks apart most of the time. And then we always end with, depending on your engagement score. So if you've been opening a lot of emails, going to our website, and your engagement score hits a certain point, then we're sending a handwritten note as well with like some stickers in it or something else just to try and like one more time get you to convert. And then after that, we put you in a nurture track. So we typically run an industry specific nurture track for 2 months afterwards. That's all automated. Every 2 weeks, you get more content. And then after the end of that 2-month period, we put you in like our standard nurture track that is relevant for everyone.